YouTube channel and throughout social media. We will get you out here well before the top of the hour. You guys have time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the Drive Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's deliver live free sports base for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a look at who's on the show with us for today. All right, with us got Mitch. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Big Al McMorty. Dana Lane will sign in a little later. We got Chris, Ruffolo, Rod Zawacki, and Wayne Scott. Here's how they'll line up for this evening. We got Ruffolo, Mitch, McMorty, Scott, Zawacki, Lane. Then I will close this one out. All right, 9-game card here from the NBA. Few on the ice, but lots of college hoops. And we'll start off with college hoops tonight. Big East action. We'll welcome in Chris Ruffolo. Catch him over at Pick Dog Sprint. We'll bring Chris in right now, ready to roll here in the Big East. Catch him every morning here on the morning show. This during the week, it is at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Chris, what's happening again? You're on mute there, Chris. You got mute-itis.
Sorry about that. No, I was going to say it's been a while since I've been here on back-to-back days. Clearly, I'm still not used to it. I couldn't even have my microphone on at the right time, but that's okay. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing great, All right, here we go. College basketball with Chris. As we know, he knows this sport very well. If you listened to his rundown yesterday, he went through several games, had no prep, and boy, he was right on the spot with his analysis. But tonight, it's Providence against DePaul here. Boy, I don't think you've ever seen DePaul good in your lifetime. I have, but I don't think you have. But Providence here are going to be laying 9.5, total 135.5.
I was going to say, I don't think I've seen them be good, at least in their time in the Big East. Since joining the Big East in 05-06, this DePaul team has had one winning conference season. That was in 06-07. This team, they can have a good non-conference schedule, bad non-conference schedule. It varies from year to year. But one thing that stays the same, like you can count on, death taxes and DePaul stinking up the joint in conference play. This season has been no different. They've been getting crushed by teams like Villanova, Providence. Their closest game was a 3-point win over Georgetown, but that's probably going to be their best chance at a conference win all season. Providence, this is a Providence team within a bit of a rebuild. They lost Ed Cooley, but even then, still Kim English coming over to take over the Friars gig. He's got this Providence team 11th nationally in adjusted defensive efficiency season long. 3 double-digit scorers for the Friars. I just don't see any way DePaul keeps this game, reasonably close, even though Providence is 10th so far out of 11 teams in offensive efficiency in conference play. DePaul, dead last. They have a net rating of minus 36. So they're being outscored by 36 points per 100 possessions. There's just a lot of deep red, like Tony and I were talking about yesterday. You look at the Ken Palm stats, a lot of deep red, and deep red is not what you want. I think Providence wins this one by double digits rather easily. I'm taking Providence laying the points.
All right, Chris, let's go. Providence laying the points. That's wrong now. It's now up to 9.5. There's the late numbers coming in here. Here from the sharpest book in the world. We're seeing really late money here on this one, Chris, as you can see here. I think people are on with you here with this DePaul team, just how poor they are. Although I will say one thing, if the free throw shooting there, not the greatest here in conference right now for Providence, but man, they played some tough competition so far. Seton Hall Craze, I mean, it's going to be tough for most of these games in conference.
Yeah, and I think that's the concern for Providence is that, you're second in conference play in free throw rate. So if you're going to get to the foul line as often as they are, you got to be able to take advantage of your chances. And that's like you said, Tony, that's the concern for me. But other than that, there's really not much else for me to suggest that DePaul is going to be able to keep this one close. I mean, 10th in 3-point shooting and 2-point shooting on offense, and they're not much better at the foul line. They're 9th in conference play. So, yeah, it's one of those things where it's just tried and true. You fade DePaul in conference play, and it pays off more often than it doesn't.
Yeah, they've been pounded against teams with a pulse in the Big East. Georgetown, a team that's rebuilding, it was a 3-point loss, but other than that, it's been poundings here against everybody else.
Yeah, and I mean, you're going to face top teams like UConn, Villanova, and Creighton, but that's the nature of the Big East. And even though, like I said, Providence not necessarily the Providence team of the last couple of years, still 3 double-digit scores. This is a solid team from top to bottom from a talent perspective, and I think DePaul is just lacking this year.
Yeah, we're seeing a 291 in minutes continuity, so I assume probably a lot of trend for Tony Stubble. Actually, this is for DePaul, right? They just had a lot of roster turnover. When you're this poor, it's just going to make things worse with all the roster turnover every year.
Yeah, it's sort of the damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you want to bring in players, not necessarily transfers. You can bring in transfers, but you also want to be able to bring in scholarship players. But scholarship players don't want to go to a losing program more often than not. The only guys that want to go to DePaul are, guys from the Chicago area that maybe have lineage to DePaul. But other than that, it's hard to bring high-profile guys in. So, yeah, Tony Stubblefield, I think, definitely has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, that's a tough job right now. It shouldn't be because it's in a great market there in Chicago. But here we go. Go ahead.
I mean, you look at the guys like this. This looks just like a completely different team. The only real star player they had last year that carried over to this year is Deshaun Nelson. Other than that, they brought in Chico Carter. I think he came from South Carolina. It's just a completely new look DePaul team, and like you said, lack of continuity just doesn't play well in the Big East.
No, it doesn't here. Providence here. Lay the number here. We're seeing 9.5. I mean, I'm seeing red line movement here. Late line movement in this game. 9 Eastern time tonight. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge Print for tonight's action. Of course, we do have NBA on the board, 9-game card. Lots of college hoops for you on the ice, but man, Chris has just been on absolute fire in the NBA. You see the numbers, nearly 1,300 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge Print. So when you go over to Pick Dodge and check out the results there, you can see every play listed there on the site. All right, Chris, big night tonight. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
I got a $19 college hoops play and also an NBA standalone best bet as well. But also have 3 packs from both college hoops and NBA that those plays are packaged into as well. So definitely check those out, or check out a long-term pass, whether it's just with me or you pair me up with one of the other great handicappers. Long-term's the way to go. Pick Dodge Premium.
Absolutely, guys. Get on board here with Chris Will over at Pick Dodge Premium. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 15% off. I will make this note. If you get the 1-month pass and covers the remainder of the NFL playoffs, including the Super Bowl, so no better time than right now to get signed up on that long-term pass, 1-month pass. Way to go with all these sports overlapping. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But let everybody know, a lot going on here at Pick Dodge. You're part of the morning show every day. Or also, we can catch you with your video series, NHL Wraparound, and the free pick videos as well.
Yeah, Tony, we alluded to it yesterday. So much going on. All the sports are pretty much in full swing, so we got tons of stuff going on. Like you said, the wraparound for the NHL, complete coverage top to bottom. Also got all our daily videos as well, so definitely check those out. And like you saw at the bottom there, make sure you have notifications on to get notified when the freshest content drops.
That's what you got to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications. These videos drop, you get them right away, get the best numbers. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take care.
You as well. Chris Ruffolo here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Up next, we got Mitch. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Print, part of that morning show here every day at Pick Dogs. Mitch, what's happening?
Just so much happening. It's just what isn't happening, I think, is more like it. The NFL season winding down, but, it doesn't mean that anything is winding down. It's just, the NFL is a 365-day-a-year sport, and I think sports in general are now 365 days, except for this year. It's 366 days. So I think we're going to, have a very, very big year. College hoops, NBA going on tonight. It's just 3 NHL games, but it feels like there's 150 games.
Yeah, it does feel that way now, especially when we get into this college basketball. Lots of content here tonight. A lot of people, as they always seem to do every year, is hype out this Mountain West Conference. And, of course, San Diego State went deep. Usually the Mountain West are usually a play against when we get into March into the NCAA tournament. But this year it's been competitive. San Diego State looking to bounce back here, hosting Nevada. The Aztecs 6.5, total 141.5.
This is the bailout game tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern time start. But, the thing is that what we've seen from, Nevada this season is, at the end of the day, it's a Steve Alford coach team. And I think, when you have a Steve Alford coach team, you get what you get. I think that this Nevada team and, the New Mexico team that beat San Diego State last time out certainly are improved teams, certainly are teams that are going to get a look from the NCAA committee. But the problem that they have here is San Diego State. And like you said, last year going all the way to the finals, this just isn't a team that really, ever seems to really fall off much. The names change, it seems every year that they're rebuilding in a new team. And, last year they did have more of a veteran team than they've had. But, even losing Matt Bradley, this team is just steady Eddie. They're not going to win them all, but they are going to cause fits for just about everybody. And when you go up against a poorly coached team like Nevada, they're surely going to take advantage of it. I'm going to take San Diego State in this one. I think the defense locks them down, and that's what they're known for doing. And I just, losing to Steve Alford, Richard Pitino back to back would be pretty damaging in my book.
Yeah, there we go. With Mitch here, says go ahead and take San Diego State, lay the points here in this late night game tonight in the Mountain West. And of course, just looking at this Nevada profile, a lot of they make their threes, but man, they are so weak in scoring those 2-point shots, just under 43%. That's going to be tough here going up here against the Aztecs, as you know, well-rounded.
They are a good team, and like I said, they're just a team that you just continue to see every year. The names change, the faces change, and they've had plenty of good players in their pipeline too. I mean, Kawhi Leonard, San Diego State, as well. So it's like, they're a team that I think I was more surprised last year that it was their first Final Four, as opposed to them making the Final Four, even though it wasn't the best team that they had throughout the season. I think what we're seeing in college basketball, the transfer portal has opened up just so many doors for so many players. Instead of having to sit, at number 8, number 9, number 10 option on the bench at Kentucky for more than a season, if you're going to be in that position again and you're a number, player of the state, that you came from or something, you can go somewhere else and play and, high points even, or to even a name brand school. It really doesn't matter. There's plenty of opportunities available. And man, it's, there's
like
no
FAU.
one finish this. There's no one that's going to finish this season with just 1 or 2 losses. It's just not going to happen. I mean, it's going to be tough to maintain it. We're already seeing the typical pattern. The number 1 team gets knocked off all the time, in college hoops, and it doesn't mean anything. Just what does it mean? Tournament seeding, and to me, tournament seeding doesn't mean anything after the first round. Because there's 8 seeds and 9 seeds that are just absolutely brutal. It could take out a 1, no problem. And I think it goes very deep. It's going to be another great tournament. I'm excited for March, and March Madness is just right around the corner.
Your thoughts here, Mitch, since we're on West Coast basketball. What's the best team in the West Coast? We've seen Gonzaga kind of slip a little bit. I know the teams out here out in SoCal not performing well. NorCal as well. Grand Canyon's a team from the mid-majors that seems to be raising the bar a little bit. What's your thoughts on the West Coast?
Well, I think I think it's still Arizona's world, and the rest of us are living on it. We know that Oregon at home is absolutely straight money, and I'll say it right now, and I'll say it again all the way until the game. When Arizona plays at Oregon, just whatever you're down for the year or anything like that, it's a great spot to just make it all up, because you just bet Oregon and just take a nap, go for a jog or whatever. You don't have to worry about it, because the one time that I decided to take Arizona in that series was the biggest loss I've ever taken as a bettor. And because I was chasing in-game. There's no way they're going to lose by 26. Oh, yeah, there is. Dylan Brooks said, yes, there is. He's throwing him in from the parking lot. And, we always see Oregon do that. But I think Arizona is still the team to beat out there. I think that Gonzaga is really getting a bad shake, when we look at the way that they're being treated. I understand that they're not the same Gonzaga team, but I think that Gonzaga, the Buffalo Bills, Kentucky, these guys all fit in the same group where they come into the season every year and the expectation is just through the roof. And then, here they are, the Buffalo Bills. If they make it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC, no one's going to be surprised. And then the same thing, you have a team like Gonzaga, who normally comes into the season with a veteran leadership. I mean, Drew Timme was there for 9.5 years. You had all these other guys that came through the pipeline with him. But now Gonzaga, they have a ton of talent, guys that came through the transfer portal as well. It's just going to take them a little bit of time to put it together, and it's more like Kentucky. They're going to have to peak in March. Now, people are saying that Gonzaga, like bracketology right now, has Gonzaga on the outside looking in at the NCAA tournament. That's crazy talk, because when you look at their schedule, right, when you look at who they played and who they lost to and all that kind of good stuff, they're 11-5. They lost to Santa Clara last time out. Outside of that, San Diego State, UConn, at Washington, Purdue. I mean, what do you want from these guys? It's like you can't hold Purdue on a neutral court against them. You can't hold at Washington too much against them. You can't hold UConn on a neutral court against them. You can't really hold San Diego State against them. So because they lost to Santa Clara, they're out of the NCAA tournament. right over my head, man.
Is there going to be a second bid here from this conference? Because St. Mary's, a team that really had struggles in the non-conference to try to build a resume.
Yeah, I don't see it, and I think it will come down to that conference tournament. I think San Francisco is another team that I might even have ahead of St. Mary's. I know that the sharps and the odds makers and Ken Palm, they always love St. Mary's, but I think San Francisco is actually the better of those two.
There we go from Mitch. All right, Mitch here on San Diego State here, laying the 6.5 here against Nevada. Late night CBS Sports Network, 11 Eastern time. All right, Mitch, everybody knows what's happened over at Pick Dogs Sports Chat Place, heading into mid-January now.
Well, we're pumping out the videos over on our YouTube channel. We're cranking out the content. We're definitely doing some changes at Sports Chat and Pick Dogs. It's going to be a process and probably won't be rolled out until the middle of the summer. But you'll hear me talking about it. I'm excited about it, just like I am everything that we have at Pick Dogs. The thing is that I get, messages from people. It's like, oh, I jumped on this guy. He's the hottest capper, and he had a losing day. It's like, I don't know any cappers in the history of the world that don't have losing days. It's part of it. But to me, with our Pick Dogs cappers, I mean, you could see the yearly leaderboard. Almost every handicapper on our site has a winning record. So you see someone have a bad day, I say buy low, man. Any day of the week with any of our guys. This is as hot as I've seen it. They closed out the year as hot as we've ever seen it, and they're started off this year as hot as they've ever seen it.
That's right. And one unique here at Pick Dogs is the fact that you see the cappers. They come out and there's not just some text link where you don't know who these folks are. They're right here on camera, on video. You can actually hear their system of handicapping.
Yep, and we're going to take that to a whole new level in the future. So I'm excited about that as well. But any questions? Of course, we have a live chat as well where you can ask. If you have a problem making a purchase or with a purchase that you've made, just reach out to us.
Absolutely. All right, Mitch. As always, great having you show. Have yourself a great weekend and week. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, Tony, and thanks to all the cappers that join us every day on the drive-thru.
Absolutely. Mitch here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here on the show. Up next, it'll be Big Al McMorty. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, we're ready to roll here with Big Al. We'll bring him in right now. Boys, look at the leaderboards with Big Al. Man, he has been on a tear here. I'll get him here ready to roll. Big Al McMorty. Big Al, how you doing today?
Pretty good, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, here we go. We go to the NBA tonight as the T-Wolves will be visiting the Detroit Pistons. We've seen this line now with the Timberwolves at 12, total 223.5.
Yeah, 12.5. 12 at Pinnacle right now, minus 6 cents, but most places have it at 12.5. The news in the last hour, Anthony Edwards upgraded to probable, so that sent it a point and a half higher. I'm going to look at Minnesota here. Detroit won for the fourth time all season on Monday when they upset the Washington Wizards 129-117 as a 5.5 point road underdog. But, Tony, one of the things I like to do is go against bad teams off a win. And the Pistons certainly qualify as a bad team. And I especially like to go against sub-300 teams off an upset win when they're then, in their next game, a double-digit underdog versus a 700 or better foe. Those teams off those wins, when they're playing a great team the next time out, they've gone just 46-70 ATS going back to 1990. I think this is going to be an absolute rout. I'm going to lay the 12.5.
All right, Big Al says go ahead and lay the 12. 12.5 in most places. We get the sharpest book in the world up here showing 12. So it's 12.5.
And now Pinnacle just moves to 13.5 plus $1.20.
There's a monster bet. They just just as we see the live screen move here. So yeah, this happens really at this time of the hour here with all these sports books out here. The Big Al here on the T-Wolves. Yeah, again, this Detroit Pistons team has been really poor this year. Big Al, it's just something to see here with these guys, huh?
Yeah, I don't quite understand it. I mean, now obviously Cade Cunningham's out for the rest of the season, but when he was in there, I didn't quite understand why they were losing all those games. I thought they had more talent than their record showed, but that's the NBA. So, but now it's much like last year when Cade Cunningham was out all of last year. Now he's out the rest of this season, so they're going to be really bad the rest of the way.
Yeah, really, really tough, no doubt. All right, and of course, Timberwolves from that Western Conference. It's a tough row for all these, both the Warriors. We've seen the Warriors and the Lakers around 500 this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a changing of the guard out west. I mean, the Warriors are definitely in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. My guess is they probably won't. I think the Lakers probably will, if not the, top 8 in the regular season, I think they can win a play-in, get through the play-in round and actually make the playoffs. But I don't think Golden State will. And yeah, it's changing of the guard. Oklahoma City, of course, probably, along with Denver, I would say, are the, Minnesota on a good day can also be in there in the discussion as well. But I think those are the top 3 teams out west.
Do you look at the All-Star game, All-Star break? We're probably 2/3 of the season in, being as a reset for some of these teams to try to get into is a better defensive play. Then we're still about almost approach a few weeks away from it.
I think the most important thing about the All-Star break is the trade deadline.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see some teams, put some decent talent on their rosters, and then, get ready for the post All-Star break run. There are a lot of teams looking to, get rid of their players. I know Siakam is probably on the move from Toronto and some other guys. So that's the biggest thing about the All-Star break. I don't necessarily think that there's an on-off switch in the NBA.
I think we just had a bridge jumper bet on the money line on the T-Wolves right now. The way that money line moved up. All right,
I think someone's trying to straddle the 13 number and bet both sides, and I think Pinnacle's just not allowing him to do it. That's what I think.
There we go. Our Big Al here on the T-Wolves, laying the 12.5 here against the Pistons tonight, top of the hour. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. Of course, NBA on the board tonight, 9-game card. Lots of college hoops on the board tonight, as well as a few on the ice. Big Al has been on an absolute tear here in college hoops, 1,885 units of profit. What do you have going on over at Pick Docs Premium?
I've got a relatively slow day today, Tony. I've got 2 plays in college basketball, 1 play in the NBA, so 3 plays total. But I've already posted 5 NFL winners for the weekend, including my one and only 5-star NFL game of the year. I got my 5-star college football game of the year last month on UCLA over Boise State. So if folks enjoyed that blowout winner, then don't miss my 5-star NFL game of the year. It's up right now at Pick Dogs.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Big Al McMorty over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here in college hoops and more. It's been doing fantastic on all the sports combined here at Pick Dogs. Get on board. Long-term, remember the 1-month pass gets the remainder of the NFL playoffs, as well as all these sports with all these overlapping sports, NHL, NBA, college basketball. Best time of the year to get on board with these long-term passes. Pick is a promo code, save that 15% off. But Big Al, you also have an all-access for those big players.
Yeah, if someone's a big player and want to get on board, it's 775-636-7676. Just text Big Al to that number, 775-636-7676. But I caution, it is pricey. And so it's only for guys who are betting at least $1,000 a game. But you get all of my plays, and you also get them rated, which is different from the premium side. So I rate the plays 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down through 1. You get additional plays beyond what is on the premium service, and you also have access to me 24/7. You can call me and text me 24 hours a day, and if there's any question you have or any game you want an opinion on, I'm available.
There you go, guys. Make sure you get on board here with Big Al with his all access. Text them, get signed up if that's within your price range. All right, Big Al. So we just got notification here that Siakam has been traded to the Pacers to see, and I think the Pacers were trying to move first round picks for an expiring contract. I got to wonder what obviously they're trying to go for it this year, right?
Yeah. I think this is a win-win for both teams. I think it's, I was thinking possibly Oklahoma City might have tried to trade for Siakam because they have so much draft capital. They got to use it. I mean, they're not, they got 29 first and second round picks or something absurd. I thought Oklahoma City might want to try to add Siakam to their roster to try to win the title this year. But Toronto also is very incentivized to get in the bottom 6 because their number 1 pick goes to San Antonio unless it falls in the top 6. So I think this trade is probably going to move Toronto down to the bottom 6. And the only way they wouldn't lose the pick is if someone from above them, whatever, leapfrogs them in the lottery. So it's a really good move for Toronto to keep the number 1 pick this year.
Yeah, that explains all the early action, right? They moved OG early. They moved Siakam early, well before the trade deadline. That probably explains it. Start losing sooner.
Yeah, the reality though is that if they keep the pick this year, then it might go to San Antonio in 2025 or 2026. It's not like they hold on to it forever. So it's kind of like, do you want it now or do you want to lose it later? this is a relatively weak class. I would maybe even be of the opinion just let it go now and save the pick for But who knows? Maybe it's better to have it this year and just get a player. So,
let's get a player.
yeah.
Depends on how patient the owner is.
Yeah, well, because if they get really good really quick, which I don't think they're going to, then they can get back up there, and the pick wouldn't be worth as much anyway. But anyway, that's what Toronto's doing, so it'll be interesting. But if they do, I looked at the odds. If they finish number 6, then they would have a 53% chance of losing the pick in the lottery and a 47% chance of keeping the pick in the lottery if they finish exactly number 6. So it would be 50-50.
There we go. All right, Big Al. Have yourself a great evening, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. Talk to you on Thursday.
You got it. Big Al McBoard here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue here on the show. Up next, it's Wayne Scott. Catch him over at Pick Dodge Film. Got some NBA coverage here from Wayne. We'll do a bit of a rundown as well. We'll bring Wayne in right now. I think we'll be set to roll here in just a second. Wayne on the Drive Thru. Wayne, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony T? What's going on, Pick Dog family? Hope everybody doing good out there today.
It's going great today. We go to the NBA tonight here, a late night game here tonight between Trailblazers and the Nets. We see the Nets here going to be laying here 6.5, total 221.5.
Yes, sir. Strange line, definitely with how the Brooklyn Nets have been playing. Only 2-8 in their last 10 and 1-8-1 ATS. They've definitely been falling as of lately. Portland on the other side, they're not looking no better. I know it looks like a good home favorite underdog, but they're 2-8 in their last 10 as well, 3-7 ATS. When I look at this one, I'm going back to the last game, and Portland shot lights out from 3. They actually were 53%, hitting 6 more threes than the Brooklyn Nets, and they also did a good job of not turning the ball over. Meanwhile, on the other side, Brooklyn has 15 turnovers. Now, if Brooklyn averaged around that amount, I will be curious, but I just don't think they're going to come into this game and play that way. I think they're going to hit more threes than they hit last time. I don't think they're going to be so careless with the ball. We look at Brooklyn. If they do not win this game and win this game handily, they have 3 up-and-coming matchups where they can easily go 0-4 and be really out of this thing. On the other side, we know Portland, they're experimenting with lineups and trying to play with lineups and get these guys, get the young guys experience, because we know they're kind of in the tankathon. So I don't expect much from Portland in this one. When we look at defensive efficiency, these teams are tied. But when we look at offensive efficiency, Portland is dead last. And not only are they dead last, but their offense doesn't get better just because they're playing at home. Like I said, I mentioned turnover. Brooklyn is not a high turnover team like we seen the last time they faced. Brooklyn also has a strong rebound advantage in this one. With all that being said, I love Brooklyn in this spot, even minus the 6.5. I think that line is there for a reason like that, and I'm taking Brooklyn here.
All right, we got Wayne here on the Brooklyn Nets here, laying the 6.5 here against the Trailblazers in this one here. And hang on 1 second here. Let me get back here to the screen, and I just want to make note here of this interesting note here with this Nets team. I maybe should have asked Big Al McBoard about this one, because it's interesting travel spot here for the Nets when you think back about what they've gone through, right? They had to go to France. Then it's Paris game. They go back from Paris back to Brooklyn, and they go from Brooklyn and make this West Coast trip. It's going to be an interesting bit of travel here for this Nets team as they open up this road trip.
Yeah, you're always going to be concerned in travel. Definitely somewhat that far. But this is just, I know we don't say every game is must win, and must win doesn't really mean nothing. But just judging by the games they have coming up next, with this also being a revenge spot for Brooklyn, I just love Brooklyn here. I just don't expect them to play as bad as they did. And I'm going to keep mentioning this. Portland struggles to score. I mean, if you look at their last 5 games, they're barely cracking 100. They cracked 100 in the last game against Phoenix. But before that, let me check. Let me double check, make sure I ain't tripping. Before that, they scored 93 against Minnesota. Solid team. 77 points against OKC. 84 points against the Knicks. Yes, these are all decently defensive teams. But so is Brooklyn. Definitely, in Brooklyn defensively, they play a little better style on the road. And I just love them in the spot. 6.5 is a decent amount against a team who hasn't been winning much lately, but I believe they get right in this spot.
All right, we got Wayne here on the Nets, lay the 6.5 here against the Trailblazers. We'll do a rundown here with Wayne here on the rest of the games here, not covered here on the drive-through. So let's get to the top of the board here. As we'll see, we covered T-Wolves and Pistons, Magic and the Hawks. We'll cover later in the show. Spurs and Celtics going head-to-head. Big line here. Celtics 15, total 238.
Yes, sir, and I'm running with the Spurs here. I like how they've been looking. I like how they've been responding to Popovich, as you said. Just a huge number. We know the Celtics team loves to play down to their competition. They are at home where they're undefeated at. So it's a little nerve-wracking, but hey, anytime you don't feel good about a bet, that's normally the best to hit. I'm liking what the Spurs have been doing defensively and offensively as of lately. They've been competing, so I don't expect them to win, but I do expect them to cover this number.
No Porzingis, no White tonight here for Boston. Collins out here for the Spurs here in that one. All right, continue on here. Rockets and the Knicks going head-to-head here. We see a big line here with the Knicks laying 7, total 223.5. We'll cover the injuries. Easton Oladipo continue out. We'll look out. But Dillon Brooks now back in the lineup for Houston. Robinson out. We do have probables here with Brunson and Hart for the Knicks.
Yeah, I would like to see Brunson and Hart in there. One of them things, again, where I believe this line is this high for a reason. I believe the Knicks come out here and ball. Until the Rockets respond and show me that they can play on the road, then that's when I'll start taking them on the road. Even getting 7 here with the Rocket team, I just can't take them here. Brooks being back as well is good, because without Brooks and Tyree Easton, this team is not the same defensively, and we've seen that. So Brooks stepping back in this lineup brings them a little bit of defense, but we know they have their struggles on offense as well. And when you're when you're not at home playing with momentum, it's tough to score. You're not going to get the calls that you normally get. So if they're not just playing good team ball, lights out, it's going to be a struggle for him to pull it out against this Knicks. Knicks in the bounce back spot. I think Knicks cover here. All
right. Bucks and the Cavaliers going head-to-head. We've seen a drastic line move because the news coming out here about Giannis out of this one. Giannis out for this one. Garland, Jerome, Mobley out for Cleveland. Karis LeVert is someone who is providing scoring off the bench for this Cavaliers team. He's questionable and has been a key cog for this team because part of their success is they're getting bench scoring from LeVert. Cavaliers laying a point here, total 236.
Tony, no lies, man. You are dead on. LeVert has been going off for this Cleveland Cavs team. I've been fading them and getting my butt whooped. And I'm not going to lie, I'm hard-headed. I'm going to continue to fade them here in this spot, even with no Giannis. Milwaukee, Cavs won 5 straight. Milwaukee won 3 straight. Milwaukee is not a bad team on the road. They're 9-8 on the road. They're slightly below. They're slightly below 500 as road favorites, but we've seen the line change to them as a road underdog, and they are the only team that hasn't lost as a road underdog. So I like that. This Cavs team, I'm going to go back to scoring. I'm big on defense, but I'm big on scoring too. It takes balance. We know the Bucks don't play a lick of defense, but they can score. This Cavs team, they're one of those teams that they struggle offensively. They are 21st when it comes to points per game. And we know the Bucks can light you up from 3, and they don't turn the ball over. So all they got to do is come out here and play a little bit of defense. I believe they definitely got the team that can pull out an upset in this one. I'm on the Bucks.
On the Bucks there, all right. I continue on here. Heat and Raptors. This, of course, as we know, the news here with the trade. Siakam was traded out. That's the only player out here for Toronto because Toronto's getting draft picks in return. And there's been, I think they made a 3-way deal with New Orleans as well in the shake. But boy, they're getting some. They're stocking up on picks. We knew We knew this. This is no surprise. We knew this going into it. Siakam an expiring contract. OG a player option for next year. We knew they were going to be moved out. It's happened. It's no surprise. But here we see the Raptors, the Heat now favored on the road 3, total since 226.
Yeah, I don't love it, but I'm going to stick with my initial pick with the Raptors. That was before the trade. Even with the trade news, I like the smaller lineup that they're going with. We're Schroeder and quickly. I definitely see the scoring here. We have two defensive teams. Both of these teams, I'm going to go back to it. Both of these teams have their days where they struggle offensively. I think with the Raptors going with the small ball here, it can pose some problems for them. As long as they can kind of calm down Bam, I believe they suppose some problems. I do see a good mismatch with Scotty Barnes. Jokic cannot guard him. As good as Jokic has been filling in, he cannot guard him. I would like to see Hawkins from the Heat. He's been scoring almost 20 points
He's
a
out.
game. So
Loving Hawkins out.
Yep. With him being out, I just like the Raptors to sneak up and get the home win. I know the Raptors have not been playing well, losing 4 or 5 in a row. Heat winning 3 in a row. Just short line for a reason, man. I'm with the books, man. I think the Raptors have a light chance here, and I wouldn't mind taking the money line here.
Small lineup indeed. Without they were already missing Koloko and they're already missing Portal. So the Jonte Porter will be at the center position. So you're going to see a lot of small Schroeder, quickly Barrett, Barnes there. So it's going to be. We'll see how the pace goes here in this one. It's going to be a smaller lineup here for this Toronto Raptors, undersized no doubt with the injuries and of course with OG being moved and of course Siakam out tonight. Continue on here. Hornets and Pelicans. Boy, the line says everything here. In this one, this is a game I don't believe that we covered. Right? No, we didn't cover this one. We've been picking on this Hornets team a lot. Pelicans are going to be laying 12 here, total 229.5.
And we're going to continue to pick on this Hornets team. Initially, man, I looked at everything to take Charlotte, and Charlotte probably is the right play with all these points. But until they prove it, just getting ball back, even with ball back, they've gotten smacked the last couple of games. To me, the main reason why I cannot take the Hornets is they have no inside presence. I can't really bet the Hornets until Mark Williams comes back. And Pelicans, they're a strong team inside with Valanciunas, Zion. Too many advantages. This Pelicans team will light you up from 3 at home. Strong bench from the Pelicans team. Don't love laying 12 in this spot, but I'm going to lay it with the Pelicans here.
Yeah, we talked up Rozier, then he get a little inconsistent for us there, so it's tough. That's definitely a tough play there. Mavericks and Lakers. This one, keep an eye on the injury news here. Exum out, Green out for Dallas. Doncic is still questionable. Williams Jones probable on the Lakers side. Vincent Reddish out. James questionable. Davis probable here. Lakers laying 4 at home. Total 244.
This is one of them games where I think I'm not betting on this game. I like Mavericks with the points, but I think Lakers get it money line. Definitely when I seen Scott Foster on there. Anytime Scott Foster's there at a home team, you gotta pause for the cause real quick, man. And hey, we seen the Lakers get that home cooking. They get a lot of fouls at the crib, so if they come out and play well, Lakers, of course, with the guys they got, if everybody's in there, they're going to have a chance. But with the refs on their side, they're definitely going to have a chance. So I have no choice but to kind of look the Lakers away. Definitely money line. If you're on Mavericks with the points, it's not a horrible spot to be in, but just be careful, man. These refs play a little bigger toll than we think some nights.
There we go. Continue on how Warriors and Jazz has been postponed. The passing of the assistant coach for the Warriors, and of course we have Wayne here on the Nets here laying the 6.5 in this one. We will have coverage here of this Magic Hawks game a little later in the show. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Document for tonight's action. We have NBA on the board tonight. We also have action here on the ice, college hoops as well. Wayne having a really good college basketball season. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I have 6 plays tonight, 2 3-packs, 1 3-pack in college basketball and 1 3-pack in the NBA. I do have my best bet always separated between those packs and my best bets in the pack. So if you need more action, grab the 3-pack. If you just want my best bet in college basketball, my best bet in NBA that's singled out for you, as all these fine handicappers have said, pair us up, man. Multiple handicapper special, great discount. Use that promo code PICK. As my guy Hot Rod always says, 2 minds are better than 1. And now they have it where you can pair up 2, 3, or 4 of us. Always check me out long-term, 2, 3-day, 7-day, 30-day packet. I will have boxing plays this weekend. There's a few boxing cards. NFL plays this weekend, college basketball and NBA.
That's right, guys. Wayne's got over at Pick Dogs. Great results in college hoops, 417 units of profit. As he said, use that promo code PICK at checkout, save that 15% off. Long-term pass is the way to go. All right, Wayne, it's always great having you show. To your success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. You can go ahead and check out my boxing series. I did drop one today. It's an underdog on there. Get with me now. It's going to be a nice winner for us. If you guys like fights and betting on fights like I do, grab this one, man. I'm telling you, it definitely should have been a premium, but it's out there on YouTube for you guys for free. So let's cash this weekend.
Cash indeed. Check it out. Like, subscribe, set notifications so when Wayne drops those boxing videos, you get them right away. Get the best numbers. All right, Wayne. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Tony T. As always, appreciate you for having me. Good luck on all your bets, Pick Dog family. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Wayne Scott here on the Drive 2. Let's continue on. Up next, let's go to Rod Zawacki. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll be on the ice. I think he's driving on ice right now. Let's bring him in right now. Rod Zawacki in the bitter cold there in his area in Canada. We'll bring him in right now. I think we're set to roll in just a second with Rod. Rod, what's happening?
Yeah, not too much. And the blizzard was yesterday. In my drive yesterday, it's clear.
Oh.
The highways are actually pretty clear today, so I'm not complaining about the road.
No
the drive
complaints.
back home from Edmonton. No complaints. No complaints after watching the Oilers. They got down 2-0 in the Leafs, and they came roaring back and got a nice win. I love the empty netter, which is what we needed for the NHL sniper. It just cruised in across the line. If you didn't see it, it was one of those where it was like, if there was a curler there, he'd be like, "Come on, hurry!"
Curler.
Across the line. Yeah,
No.
Oilers 1-4-2. So good trip. Got to see the Oilers win. Nice game. Crazy atmosphere as always. That's why I love that game. Edmonton and the Leafs. There's more Leafs fans than there are Oilers fans, for sure. And it's usually split right down the middle. There's a whole pile of blue, and there's a whole pile of the blue and gold for the Oilers. It's craziness.
Wow, how you master that drive is amazing. Just to see the blizzard there, amazing. All right, Rod, we go Canadians Devils tonight. Here we see the Devils big favorites, total 6.5.
Yeah, and you look at this one here tonight. In the video, I gave Montreal plus the $1.50, but you know what? You deep into this, dive a little bit deeper. I like Montreal here. You look, it's going to be Nico Daws getting the start. I thought it was going to be Vanacek, but Nico Daws getting the start here. He's just been playing the better hockey for the Devils, goalie-wise anyways. 3-2 on the year, 2.64 goals against average, and a .922 save percentage. Playing great. He made 33 saves out of 35 shots last time out, and guess what? That equated to a loss. Because the New Jersey Devils didn't give it up goal support. Facing the Sharks, they scored 1 goal. The Devils lost 2-1 in that one last time out for Nico Daws. Definitely playing good. Devils just haven't been lighting the lamp. And on the other side, Montembeault's been getting the start here for Montreal. And on Saturday, sure, you got the loss to the Oilers in overtime. Not his fault. He made 39 saves out of 49 shots versus the Oilers. Kept Montreal hanging in there. They did lose 2-1, but it's the same thing with Nico Daws, just not getting enough scoring for Montreal in places. But this is a good spot where I think Montreal can get some scoring. You look at last year, we've seen this same kind of matchup. Montembeault faced the Devils. Guess what happened in that one? Montreal won that game 5-2. Montembeault's the better goalie here over Nico Daws, and I just don't trust the Devils at home. You look, the Devils on the road, they're playing their better hockey. They're at home in this one, where they haven't played their better hockey. Take Montreal outright. Win in this one tonight. Outright. They're going to win it.
That's right. Why not, right? With these Devils at home, get up nearly 4 goals a game. That's brutal.
Oh, exactly. The Devils' defense at home, 3.55 goals a game, nearly 4 goals a game they've been giving up at home this season. When you look at Montreal on the road, 3.15 goals against. So they even got the better defense. Montreal's playing in this one.
Well,
Devils, man, just had some injury issues, and when everybody thought they were going to have a good season, and it's been up and down.
Yeah,
so far for the Devils.
They're defending a lot better here. And, of course, with the Montreal on the road, you're getting positive returns on their money line bets. If you're betting Jersey at home this year, minus 13.5 units.
Right? Yeah, you're losing lots if you're betting the Devils at home because you're betting these big prices. Minus 182 is they're almost begging you to take the Devils. Come on. Normally we're at minus 250 here, minus 225. Yeah, you're not fooling me or bait me into the Devils.
All
It's
right.
Montreal here in this one.
Rod here, Canadians plus 169 against the Devils, top of the hour. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Hockey on the board tonight, lots of NBA, 9 games, lots of college hoops. Rod doing great. What a great year for Rod. 2024 has been 1,376 units of profit. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
And over Pick Dogs Premium tonight, I've got my NHL sniper play. It's in the other NHL game. 9-3 in it in the last 12. I've also got my NBA drop a dime play as well. We've hit 10 straight in that NBA play. So jump aboard that. Or I've got a college basketball triple. You can scoop that up. Went 2-1 yesterday. Looking to continue that. As you can see, 2024 has been a hot start. Looking to continue that as well. So jump aboard, as my buddy Wayne says, as he alluded to before me. Always 2 heads better than 1. Use that 2-for-1 capper deal, 3-for-1 capper deal. Even as Mitch said earlier in the show, that look at all the cappers that are hot, and we're crushing the books. This is the most hottest cappers I've seen over at Pick Dog since I've started at Pick Dog. So lots of cappers over there to crush the books and make you money. So jump aboard. Let's continue to crush the books in 2024.
That's right, guys. Got aboard with Rod Zweig over at Pick Dodge Premium. You see the great results, 1,376 units of profit for the year. Remember that 1 month pass includes the remainder of the NFL playoffs, including Super Bowl and all the hockey, all the NBA, all the college hoops for 30 days, all these sports overlapping. Get the 1 month pass. Way to roll, Rod. Continue that great success. Have a great trip home. We'll catch up with you again on Steak Friday.
Hey, I'm almost home. I got about a 20-minute drive up the road, and I'm home. I got one more small town to go through, and then I'll be home. Little bonus play for everybody. I like Cole Caulfield to get an anytime goal in this one tonight. And also make sure you've liked, subscribe. That way you get notified when all that A to Z hockey videos drop. Man, did we crush it yesterday with hockey videos. I think we swept the board with every hockey video. Plus, we hit another 3-team parlay over there. So check out only 2 on the ice tonight. I give you 1 here. The other one's my NHL sniper. And we got 11 hockey videos tomorrow, so definitely make sure you're subscribed and you turn on those notifications. That way you get notified when those videos drop, and you can get the best of the number. And we've been on fire this season with those ones as well. Even the free plays are winning, so come aboard, check that out. Lots of content over at Big Dog.
Great content. Like, subscribe, hit the notifications so when Rod drops those videos, those NHL video series, A to Z coverage, every game on the board, parlay as well. Get on board and subscribe. Rod, have a great trip home. We'll catch up with you again Steak Friday.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck with your bets. Crush the book. And definitely go check out Wayne's boxing video. I checked it out, and I'm even bringing a little bet on it. I love it. You got to go check it out. Check out Wayne's video. Have yourself a good day, everybody. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. Rod Zweig here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and welcome in Dana Lane. Man, he had a great year over at Pick Dogs. We'll bring him in right now. Let's get Dana ready to roll some hockey on the board here, starting in just minutes here. Let's see if we get to Dana Lane. Dana Lane, what's happening?
Hey, Tony, how are you?
Everything's going great. Everything's going great. I got to move the chains here. We're going to get your game up here because we know it's going to start here pretty soon. We'll move the chains and get the game up here in just a second here. There we go. Red Wings, Panthers. Tonight, we see the Panthers favored here 204, total 6.5.
Yeah, these are really games that Florida cannot drop. I mean, we saw of late, after that terrific win streak, of late being tested by the Anaheim Ducks. That actually lost that game at home. They lost, and then that 4-1 game that they lost against New Jersey at home. But really, these are they're breathing down the neck of the Boston Bruins, and these are opportunities at home for Florida to really gain on Boston, who's been okay of late. Saw them live here against Vegas and thought they played okay against a depleted Vegas team. Terrific job by Jeremy Swayman. But anyway, back to this game. Patrick Kane, of course, is going to be out of the lineup for Detroit, but Alexander Barkov is also going to be out of the lineup for Florida. We still see this number at minus $2, which is way too rich for me. And I really like Buffalo tonight, and unfortunately I take a nap and I wake up and thank you to David Racy who tells me the game was canceled. So, but this is kind of my second game, and it really falls in the same vein, Tony, where I just think Florida is not only they're the better team, they're at home. They are teams are $2 favorites this year. They won like 65% of the time, although we're not going to lay those $2. But even without Barkov in the lineup, you look at their top six, you got Carter Verhaeghe and you got Sam Reinhart. Reinhardt's having a terrific year. I mean, the Buffalo Sabres got to be kicking themselves at this point. Still a top six that's as good as anybody in the league. And I just think that from a standard of the Panthers will not be looking ahead in this, especially after the two losses. I think they're a better team. They're playing at home. I just don't see any reason to go against them. But we're not going to lay those $2. We're going to lay, what do you have, $1.50, $1.60?
Yeah,
regulation line?
a DK. That's where I found the 60-minute line. Yep.
Yeah, so $1.60. That's a little bit better. We do see some Detroit money coming in, so you might want to wait a little bit. If your threshold is minus $2 or less, then you might want to wait a little bit. But it's about $2 in most spots. I don't think we're going to see like $1.90. You might get $1.95 if you want Florida, but I think they win this in regulation, Tony.
All right, there we go. Well, Panthers in regulation here against the Red Wings. This will be the 10th divisional game here for Florida. 9-0 to the under so far in the divisional games, giving up just about 1.4 goals a game. I mentioned division games because it matters in the way they proceed the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are massive games. I mean, even though Florida is probably looking at Boston, there's really nobody in that division in the top four that really can look away from another team. And I watched Florida come into T-Mobile Arena against the Golden Knights, and they had a massive chip on their shoulder. This was a game that they absolutely had to win, and they got that monkey off their back. And of course, they lost against the Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup last year. But since that game, they've been 9-1-1. And I think this team just mentally is at their peak this year. But yeah, these division games, you will not catch a team sleeping unless we're talking about San Jose or got at the lower level teams of the division. But if you're in that top 3 to 5, or top 1 to 5. There is no game where anybody's going to take a game off, that's for sure, especially now that we're technically into the second half of the season.
I'm going to make a joke here. Who's going to be the favorite tomorrow when the Rangers go into Vegas?
The Rangers by far are going to be the favorite. They should be $1.20, $1.15, $1.20 favorite. I mean, now with Jack Eichel, and again, I was at the game and I had people texting me asking me, what happened with Eichel. Somebody said he shattered a blade and had to go get it repaired, and I'm like, I've watched this guy, and I don't know what it was like on TV, but I've watched him glide off the ice on 2 knees. And one of the things that I know about Vegas, working with them a little bit, is when they say a guy is, week to week, which I think Eichel is. He had surgery, lower body surgery. Some reports are saying that he's going to be out 6 weeks. Or 6 games rather, because of the All-Star break. I just don't see that happening. And we've seen before when players get labeled week to week. We've seen it with William Karlsson right now, labeled week to week. That means he's going to be out for a long time. They never quite tell you how players are, and that injury did not look good. I've never seen anybody go off gliding across the ice on 2 knees like Eichel did.
Yeah.
Vegas is playing a healthy Ranger team, and of course, the Rangers in past years like to lean on their goaltending, and really haven't been able to do that too much with Shesterkin this year. He's gone through spurts of having great games and sometimes an unreliable in others, but the Rangers are a healthy team, and they probably are smelling blood against Vegas. And with Vegas being so battered right now, there's six guys that are major roles in them winning a Stanley Cup last year are out for the night. So
I have a question here in Vegas here. There was always some concerns. There's more away fans. Which road teams draw the most fans against Vegas?
First of all, that was true in the first, maybe second year. They go through the league, and that I was there, like I said, against the Bruins the other night. Tons of Bruins fans there for sure, but it was 70-30 at best. 80-20 at best. But I'm sorry. What was the question about?
I would say which road fan base brings? Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers. Well, it really depends on the time of year. This time of year when it's freezing, the Oilers travel well. The Bruins travel well. The Blackhawks used to travel well, not so much anymore, but still a ton of fans. But those are the teams that I've noticed that have come in and really, Red Wing fans, and all your top upper echelon teams. But as it gets towards spring, that becomes less and less. And of course, this obviously is a winter destination for a lot of away fans. But it really has to do with I had to make a choice, last week about what I was going to do this upcoming weekend, and I was going to go to the Rangers game against the Knights, but then I decided, hey, look, I haven't done a road trip in a while, so we're going to go 2 Kings games this weekend and a Ducks game on Sunday. And, I got to go where I think my money's going to be spent the best. And I think that you get some fan bases where teams are not doing as well, and, they're just not coming. And it's not like it is for the Raiders where, you got 65,000 seats and 20,000 of them. And it's difficult in the NFL because it takes so long to get through the league that, teams will have away fans here a lot longer than they did for hockey. But yeah, Edmonton definitely sticks out. Kings will stick out just because of proximity, but not really. They don't travel that well. Edmonton's the first one that comes to mind, and Chicago when they were good, for sure.
There you go. Dana here on Panthers 6 minutes in regulation tonight. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at pick document for tonight's action. Big NBA card night. Lots of college hoops on the board as well. Got a nice Mountain West late night game up as well on television. Boy, Dana's had a monster NFL season, 949 units of profit, all document over at Pick Dogs Premium. What do you have going on over the site?
Anytime San Diego State loses, it's good. But when you play Nevada, I don't know, somehow I hope they tie. We got NBA up there. NHL is not up there just because of the 3 games and a high money line. But college basketball and the NBA are still up there for tonight. 3-game package in both of those sports. And, of course, we'll have NFL up there in the next couple days or so. I'm just checking on a few other things. But it looks like it's going to be another big weekend in football, and I'm going to be very sad to see football leaving. So I'm really crossing my fingers. We're going to push the NBA and college basketball out there to take the spot. But NFL's been very good this year.
Very good action there from NFL. Very good in college football. Nearly 4,000 units of profit combined in football. And, Dana, no better time to get a 1-year pass, right? Because you get all the football next year, right? And all the baseball coming up here.
Exactly right. No better time than to get those annual passes. I push them quite a bit. I push them on my video series because honestly, they are by far the best way to do it. I mean, you can get a week pass, a 30-day pass, an annual pass for one low price. Most of those passes are less than $100 a month, so you don't have to keep going back to the website every day. I mean, you just get the credit card up, throw it on there, and we're off and running. And if you get one long enough, we'll be right into baseball season, and before you know it, Dallas Cowboys will be giving it another go and trying to win a playoff game.
That's right. No doubt about that, guys. 1-year all sports pass. You can still use the promo code PICK. Save that 15% off. All right, Dana, as always, great having you show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you next week. You mentioned the video series. Let everybody know about it.
Yeah, against the spread, we have it up every morning. I try to get it up the night before. It's going to be a little bit difficult this weekend. We're going to, be on the road a little bit, so the videos are going to be a little bit shorter, but we'll still have 3 plays up there, free plays up there. And thank you to everybody that's continued to help that video series grow. Everybody has really been very supportive, and I'm very thankful for that. So, yep, enjoy doing that, and I appreciate the platform to be able to do it on.
Absolutely, Dana. Have yourself a great evening. Have a great trip out here. It might be a little wet late in the weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I've heard. Dropping everybody off at Disney, and then I'm going to go do my hockey stuff. But
nice.
I don't know. I'll be better off, or they will be.
Well, there won't be many lines.
No, thankfully.
Thankfully for them.
Yeah, so they'll be better off for sure. I'll be in a parking garage stuck somewhere in downtown LA at LA Live.
Oh boy. Well, I'll have fun there. All right, Dana. Have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
All right, you too, Tony. Thank you.
Dana Lane here on the Drive Thru, guys. Let's get to the recap. We'll get to my play. My play comes up in about half an hour, but we'll get the recap in here as we're kind of hit the witching hour here. So let's get to the recap here in just a second. Let's go over to recap. Let's recap it here. We had start off with Chris. Providence lay the 8 against DePaul. Mitch was on San Diego State, lay the 6.5 against Nevada. Al McMorty, Big Al says, go ahead and lay the 12 with T-Wolves against Pistons. Wayne was on Nets, lay the 6.5 against Trailblazers. Ron was on Canadians plus the 169 against Devils. Dana, 60-minute line or in regulation, however you want to call it, minus 160 against the Red Wings. I'll take the Magic plus 4 against the Hawks. What I like the most here is, let's look with these Aztecs here. Boy, Nevada's really weak inside defending, and I think that's where they can get exploited. San Diego State back in their home arena. I think they were pretty upset how they. Of course, listen, we talked about I think we talked that with Tony Brown yesterday about the pit there in Albuquerque. Very tough place for opposing teams, so not surprising that they dropped that one, but look for a bounce there from the Aztecs. Go with Mitch here on that one. All right, let's continue here on the drive through. We told you who we're going with here. Here with Magic and the Hawks tonight. We're going to go ahead and take the 4 with the Magic, or the 4.5. Let's see what the line shows here. The sharpest book in the world has 4.5 now, which means, let's see, everybody else is 4. I see a split here. Sharp book in Vegas, 3.5. I see the sharpest book in the world, 4.5. Mainly 4s out in the marketplace, so you can grade me there at 4 because the 4s are, no, there's a lot of 4.5s now as I scroll. Yeah, so it's kind of mixed here, 4. But no, grade me at the 4. That's why I have it at 4. That's fine. Magic plus 4 here against the Hawks. Let's just go ahead and take a scroll here at the injury report here. We know Harris and Wagner out. And, of course, for Atlanta, it's Wes Matthews and DeAndre Hunter are the notables out. We know Harris and Wagner out. But again, I just like the depth here of this Orlando Magic team. They have 2. There's usually 4 or 5 guys out for the Magic. There's only 2, which I like better because you get Cole Anthony, Fultz, Wendell Carter, Joe Ingles, Isaac, Moritz Wagner off the bench. So there's a lot of depth on this Magic team, and they play defense, which is something the Hawks really struggle with defending. And of course, we all know about how difficult the Hawks have had it here covering games. They failed to cover 14 of 18 at home. They did cover there against the Spurs, but that's the Spurs, right? This is a team that defends this Orlando team. And we take a look here at Atlanta at home. They sit 29th in defensive efficiency. They give up 120 points per 100 possessions. Atlanta Hawks have a minus 2.2 net rating at home. So actually, Orlando has been pretty good here against the division as well, shooting nearly 50% against divisional foes. We will take here this Magic plus the 4, plus the 4.5. There tonight. Guys, check out Pick Dodge Stream. Got a 3-pack up on the board from the NBA. You can also get on board by long-term pass, my 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that time period. Just like when you go to my handicapper page, make that purchase. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout. You'll save that 15% off. All right, let's get to the recap. We recap the games, and that'll do it for this edition of the Drive Thru. Guys, make sure you tune in again tomorrow live here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We've got your plays for you in real time. Remember to always get started with that morning show live here at 10:30 a.m. each time during the week. You got Mitch, you got Chris, you got Jay. Also, the video series, Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tools show, his roundtable with the professionals. Jay with his NBA, NFL rundown videos for you as well. He's a weekend host here at Pick Dogs, as well as Chris. Chris has his NHL wraparound series, as well as free pick videos here on the site from the Multi Sports. In addition to his writing, and of course, we just got the against the spread here video series here from our man Dana Lane. All access with Big Al McMorty. Boxing video series with Wayne. He just dropped that video today, so check it out. Also, more content from Ron Romanelli with his college basketball rundown series. We also have Nick Mentken with his first half NBA. Mills Young, he'll appear tomorrow on the Drive Thru. Mills has his prop shop and his UFC rundown, so make sure you check that out as well. And of course, Brian Bittler, his contrarian plays from him. Also, Costi with his sharp trading plays as well. All access, Big Al McMorty, and more. Guys, make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications so when we're live, you're live with us to get the bet place numbers. All right, shout out to everybody here in the chat room today. Shout out to there to doubles. Our man Ron Crawford here in the chat likes Vanderbilt plus 11.5. Latifa in the chat as well. John Stewart, shout out to Our man John Stewart in the chat as well. Winning Wager, shout out to you as well. Ramon in there as well. And of course, John Pritchard in there as well with the giant logo here. Baseball coming soon. Ron Harper, shout out there. Likes Providence here. Ron Hahn likes Providence, laying the 9.5 tonight there with Chris in that one tonight. And of course, Nicholas Handy, shout out to you as well. And of course, Blake, shout out to you as well. Raven Ron likes Magic +4, agree. Jason here with Reinert Goal. Raven Ron likes Red Wings money line. Habs, but the Habs aren't playing tonight. The Habs have Habs puck line as well from Raven Ron. Chris Brady, shout out to you as well. And we've got, of course, Ashland saying, yep, Giannis out tonight. Hawks money line here from Parlay Jelly Raphael. Likes the money line there. Question mark there from Ash about Cavs money line. Will Horton with some Horizon League picks. Robert Morris laying, and also Youngstown State money line. Also likes the +3.5 there against Oakland. And of course, Lando 86, Brandy Thompson, Nicholas Handy, Oliver Page in there as well. Shout out to everybody here in the chat. All right, that's going to do it here on the show. All right, that's going to do it. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Let me see if there's any last minute picks coming in from the chat. That'll do it. All right, let's bring in our crew. We're going to wait. Goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon, evening. We'll catch up with you again